Hello, welcome to Talking Point. We're discussing what some may consider a taboo topic, youth suicides. According to the Samaritans of Singapore, the number of suicides among young people have hit a 6-year high. There were 19 cases last year of young people between 10 and 19 taking their own lives. Men between 20 and 29 are also considered high risk. What are the causes of suicides among young people? What other signs you, as a parent, family member or friend, can recognize to help prevent suicides? We have 24-year-old Jamie Tan, who himself thought about ending his life and is sharing his story with us. Dr. Yong Guan On, a clinical psychiatrist specializing in stress-related disorders, and Tan Yok Yin, Deputy Director of the SOS. Now, welcome to the program, everyone. Jamie, let's start with you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to share your story. When did you first think about committing suicide?
I guess there's a lot of factors involved, but the pinnacle point was when I was in junior college studying, and there's a lot of stress, a lot of factors put into it, parental, friends, peers, and mainly it was studies. And when you're expected to get good grades and achieve this perfection, right? And you're not able to control it because you're studying so much, but you don't know like you're gonna attain that grade. You know, you feel very helpless, very overwhelmed. And when that happens, right, you just stop and you just question. You question like, why am I doing this? And is there a point to it? And it's just going down to a vicious cycle, a depression cycle, like a dark side that you see no point. You see no point in anything right now, yeah.
So how did you get out of that situation?
For me, right, it wasn't a voluntary thing. It's just thankful that I had like friends around that I was able to talk to communicate with. And it wasn't like I specifically went to them and sought help. No, it just happened, you know, because I had a lot of things built up inside me, anger, rage, helplessness, and I had to let it all out. And when I was talking to my friends, you know, and my close friends, talk to them about it, you know, some of this is let out. And somehow it's like a burden is lifted up for me, yeah. And it helped. It helped in the sense that I stopped being so depressed, stopped thinking so lowly of myself.
Did you know you were going through depression at the point and that you really needed help? Or?
No, it wasn't a very like, oh, I'm going through clinical depression, it's proven. No, it's just feeling, I don't know how to describe it, it's just a very down feeling. You feel so down that, yeah, you feel that there's no point in living. You can't really label it as depression, it's just a feeling, you know, yeah.
Dr. Ang, is this common that you see more young people who are in Jamie's situation?
Yeah, I can understand his feeling because there are three factors involved here. First, the stress of the study. You talk about the uncertainty, ability to cope, and the result. You know, what are you going to get at the end of the day? Worried about poor results, worried about the stress of studying. And the support. I hear that he's got support from his friends. So that helped a lot. But principally, it's the self. I think there's a lot of worry in him. The lack of confidence in facing the exam, in facing his studies, and this uncertainty and this negativity in him. Managing his anger, managing his worries, managing his so-called low mood, although not amounting to clinical depression. But I think you have this sense of hopelessness, negativity, that nothing can be done, that everything is hopeless, that you are not sure what's going to happen. I think dealing with the uncertainty is one of the issues here. And a lot is to do with the self-esteem, self-confidence, and resilience, you know, resilient in dealing with your studies. But luckily, he's got support from his friends.
He had friends to help him.
And he feels much better.
Yok Yin, you get calls from young people
yes, we do.
as well to the Samaritans of Singapore in such a situation. What are some of the factors, what are some of the things that young people in that situation say, I mean, that contribute to their mood or their stress?
Yeah, we do have callers like Jamie talking about stress at schools or stress in dealing with relationships, relationships could involve like with family members or in a boy-girl breakup kind of situations. And sometimes we do have young callers who talk about their own depression. They might be going through some kind of mental health issues, which is troubling to them. And as a result of that, they can't cope with the different stresses that's happening in their lives. So these are some of the key things that is being brought up by the young persons.
Is there actually a is there a growing number of young people who are getting depressed?
I think, you know, the teenage year, you're struggling with hormonal changes in the body, you're struggling with family issues, interpersonal relationship issues, and on top of that, you have the stress of study. So inevitably, it takes you off gear. And then inevitably, you're going to have a lot of negative feelings. And really, I have seen many. They come telling me they cannot control their anger, they can't sleep well, they have difficulty in remembering, in studying, and they are worried. They are worried about how are they going to do in the exam. So I do see a fair number of cases who say, I don't want to go to school. Just a few days ago, a Sec 3 student said, I fear going to school. Going to school means pressure. Going to school means more homework. And I can't sleep. If I can't sleep, I can't pay attention the next day. So there's definitely an increase in number of cases coming to seek help.
Jamie, do you find that among your peers and your friends that it's more common as well that you know, the stress is just overwhelming?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, right now you have competition and expectations from parents, from peers also. And you see everyone competing for grades. And not only that, when you said, you know, that there's parental issues and everything, I have a lot of friends who go through all these changes, this stress level, and it's overwhelming, absolutely. I don't think people like 30 years ago faced this kind of issues or what, but right now it's the expectations. I think the main problem is how we perceive or how we expect to strive for perfection. And
there are two key factors which are compounding the whole issue. One is families are small now. You don't have the extended family where you can have grandparents looking after them. You find that, you know, the latchkey children, they go home to
empty home.
Practically an empty home. And parents are both busily at work. So I think that's one factor, the lack of an extended family
support.
People who can help you. The second factor is the advent of the internet. I think internet is causing a lot of problem. Youth are spending a lot of time in the virtual world, gaming, and you know, at the age of 13 and 14, you're exposed to the virtual world, and if you cannot handle the virtual world, it's very stressful. Especially you end up addicted to gaming. And where do you get the values from? Where do you get the support from? So these are two factors compounding the whole issue.
We have to go for a short break. When we come back, we'll speak about how to support young people who need help and how to help them. Welcome back to Talking Point. We're talking about youth suicides. Now, let's pick up where Dr. Ang left off. He talked about the other factors, not having the extended family network, stress about the internet, and not being able to cope with gaming, and perhaps very distant relationships in that sense. Do you get the sense from the callers that call you as well?
Yes, some of the callers will tell us about their sense of loneliness. They feel like they are isolated from the world. They don't have kind of connection with their parents. Some of them, even though they have friends, but they don't feel like they are belonging to the group. So they do struggle with that kind of difficulty. And also, there's also this identity crisis. They're also doing a lot of search within themselves, trying to understand, you know, where they are, their positions, their values, their perspectives, and so on. So it is very difficult for the young person.
Do you find that, okay, let's talk about parental support. I mean, as Dr. Ang's point was that many parents are so busy now, they're working, there's no extended family. Do you find more parents being more aware, at least, and if their child is in depression, or are they just absolutely not able to even recognize any of these signs, Dr. Ang?
I think they are able to recognize, but they just fail to engage their children. They feel that the children don't want their help. The children prefer to talk to their own peers.
But that's probably also correct, isn't it, Jamie?
That's more or less true, I mean, like, they they can't connect with us because they don't lead our lives and everything, you know, as in they cannot relate to what we're having right now, you know, our experiences and everything. So it's a different level altogether, yeah. So I think the best support, you know, is through the friends, you know, they can relate to you.
In the perception of the child is my parents just want me to do well in my studies, period. Whereas with your friends, you can talk all kinds of things, all sorts of things. And there's no expectation from your friends. That's one factor. Second factor is parents just don't know how to handle the mood swing of their children. They have mood swing, they have periods of feeling low, periods of feeling exuberant. So parents just don't understand why is the kid having mood swing, mood regulation problem. And they have difficulty understanding and helping them.
Right. Do parents also have a sense of, well, a stigma that, or in terms of seeking help, or is it just that they don't know how to help their child and don't know where to get help from?
I think it's getting better.
Okay.
It used to be a taboo. I think people are more willing to see counsellor. And every school now, I believe, has a counsellor, a full-time counsellor. Some even have two.
Let's talk about what support there are in schools. I mean, are teachers aware of how to spot signs? And if something happens, let's say recently there's a case in this junior college where 2 girls committed suicide, is there enough support given to the school and the rest of the students on how to cope?
I believe in the schools they have a certain protocol and a certain system whereby the teachers are trained or even encouraged to look out for signs and symptoms. And SOS also has been providing training workshops for teachers, counsellors, as well as school counsellors.
What are some of the signs we should be looking out for?
Yeah, you know, when the young person is feeling feeling very down, and there's a sudden change in their behaviour, there is a mood swings or mood change, or physically they are not taking care of themselves, or they write about things which are very dark, you know, express things which are very negative. So these are things that the teachers were taught how to look out for. It doesn't mean that when they express these symptoms, they are suicidal.
Yes.
It could be, you know, they're having other issues and other problems. Yeah.
Would you go to your school teacher?
That's the thing.
Would you go to a full-time school counsellor?
I would never think so. Because I was talking about it just now. There's this, I think as students also, we have this psychological barrier that we'll never approach someone to say that we have a problem. Because we'll never admit it. Even though we feel this way or what, right? We never acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm facing trouble, I need your help. It's more of the ego thing. And I don't think like youths now, they would actually go down to a counsellor and say, I need help. Yeah. Most of them, they'll just keep it inside. Either that or the outlet would be through friends.
I guess
I think it's seen as a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
So I think the message to the ground is that when you're growing up, it's okay to feel down and it's okay to talk about it.
Yes.
Not just to your friends, but to your uncles and auntie and your parents as well.
Yes, we want to impress on the young that, you know, you can talk to anyone whom you trust.
I think youngsters must realize it's okay to fail.
Exactly.
It's okay to learn from your failure. Don't be upset, it's only mid-year. Look forward to your end of the year exam. You know, that kind of idea that it's okay to fail.
So
you learn a lot from your failure.
So where does that problem come from? That perfectionism of trying to get good grades, where does it come from? Peers, parents? That's the main problem, the source of it all. It's our expectations of good grades. Where does it come from? Is it our teachers?
In a way, it's societal as well, isn't it? I mean,
that's my point about definition of success. Success need not be academic excellence. It can be arts, it can be drawing, singing, dancing, literature and all that. But it's hard to accept. I think hopefully, eventually, we will come to the stage where success does not equal academic excellence.
Isn't it also letting everyone be aware that if a child comes to talk to you about his or her problems, do not label the child, do not say that, oh, you know, don't worry about it, it's okay, just ignore it, because it could actually be a real problem. And then, so hence, people shouldn't dismiss what young people say when they're talking about things like, you know, I'm really stressed, I'm really tired, don't dismiss it away. I mean, do you get that? Did you actually ever talk to any adults about the situation and found that you didn't get the support that you felt you needed?
I don't think I actually approached like an adult per se. Yeah, it's always with the peers around you. Because as you mentioned just now, trust is very important, and we trust the friends around us. More than anything else.
The trouble is that if you talk to your peers,
they
are also the same age as you.
Correct. They might not have
the wisdom,
help you as well.
The wisdom and the experience to help you.
I mean, that's a problem.
So we want to encourage the young also to, if you spot that your friends are not feeling well, they're having some problems, is there someone else that they could turn to? So